Hello, welcome to Stay Hydrated. My name is Chris.
My name is Elizabeth.
If you did not know, now you know. Your life is different now. We just wanted to change up the intro as a little tribute
to our guest.
To our guest today. A little Easter egg for you guys, just in case you haven't looked at the title yet and you just press play on the new episode without even really looking. We love you guys the most. No, we don't.
We love everyone equally.
We love everyone equally. Although if you subscribe to the podcast and follow the Instagram, we love you more.
Okay, yeah, period. That's
a really inexpensive way you can support the podcast.
You can support the podcast.
You can support the podcast in a really inexpensive way.
So the intro, that was an Easter egg for our guest.
Yeah.
As is this question I'm about to ask you, Chris.
Yes.
Growing up a lot, I watched YouTube.
Growing up a lot.
Growing up, I watched YouTube a lot.
I've been growing up a lot recently.
Well, that's good. Me too. Mm-hmm. Anyway,
in some
growing
ways,
up, I watched a lot.
Sorry, you just go.
Growing up, I watched a lot of YouTube.
Yeah.
Did you?
I did, yeah. Maybe more from, because we have a 7-year gap. So I was older when YouTube creators came into existence.
Whereas I was prime age.
Yeah, so when YouTube started was for me, when Bebo, I remember when Bebo was alive and well.
Whoa.
Which was the kind of fun cousin of MySpace. It was like more colourful. You didn't have to code.
Yeah.
MySpace, you had to
code. Same with Tumblr.
MySpace, you had to code.
Yeah.
You had to design your website and code it. Why haven't I held on to those skills?
You probably copy and pasted someone else's.
Right, but also I remember being like, I knew how to put like a break in like the text.
Wow.
Like when you wrote your stuff, I remember being like line break, like bolder, underline this.
That would be cool. Maybe you can code.
Maybe I can guys, I'm quitting the podcast and going into coding.
Yeah.
What the hell? What am I doing here?
Well, I did know a girl that we worked at the same job together, and she was like, I'm just like learning how to code because like I don't want to like work here anymore. And I was like, that's so tea queen, like go off, sis. And then like 6 months later she was like, yeah, I've got a job at Google. And I was like, what? And she was like, I learned how to code. And I was like, you said that months ago and you stuck to it?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but she did.
And I imagine that work from home life is cuckoo bananas when you can code.
Yeah.
That WFH life.
WFH.
When you're a coder.
Yeah.
Coders get in the in the email inbox. I did date a coder for a little while, and his work from home life looked pretty clutch.
Right.
But yeah, so YouTube. Yeah, so I remember when I had a Bebo, you could put a video link on your Bebo, and someone was like, you can use this thing called YouTube to like link a video.
Right.
So this would be like a music video, or honestly, it was probably an American Idol performance that I was like, everyone, you're all I need to get by.
Nice.
Which I think was maybe Motown Week. Yeah. So that's when I first found YouTube. And then I'm thinking, then even when I went on my first ship, which was when I was 21, all I was watching was Beyonce's the Mrs. Carter tour.
Right.
That's what I had on YouTube quite a lot. And Wicked bootlegs.
Right.
On my first ship.
Right.
And then I feel the creators came later. I actually am going to say you probably got me into creators.
Well, I mean, how could I not when I like booted up the internet, booted up YouTube, and it was like Jenna Marbles, like talking about like all her tea.
Me and Ali used to watch Jenna Marbles. That's actually maybe the first creator, Jenna Marbles.
I think she was for so many people. She's such an icon. And the later videos where she's just making herself into a chair and like I want to be taller, so I'm going to make myself taller. They're just so incredible. But we really had such a wealth of shite before that from her, which was just so good.
Getting drunk and putting up her Christmas tree.
So good.
Was really good.
So good. And then we obviously had My Drunk Kitchen, Hannah Hart, an icon of the genre. Mamrie, You Deserve a Drink.
Mamrie Hart, woo, who gets a mention in today's episode as well.
Yes, and no relation. Hannah Hart, Mamrie Hart.
Mamrie Hart. No.
Just two different icons with the same last name. How cool. I want my last name to be Hart.
Tyler Oakley.
Wow.
Watched a lot.
Let's talk about the origins of Troye Sivan.
Go. I don't read, I kind of...
Oh my God, he was like YouTuber. Baby YouTuber, and he was like friends with Tyler Oakley. I think he was like friends with Connor Franta and in the O2L group. O2L
it kind of goes over my head a little bit.
O2L was never really my thing because obviously it was like six boys being like we like sing along to songs, and it's like okay, but then obviously it did give us Trevi Moran, icon.
Yes.
Yeah. Friends with Tana Mojo.
Oh, fine, Tana.
yeah, and we're back. Yeah. But then probably
What's that amazing Tana?
We'd seen Bryce out here. Even the paparazzi on seen Bryce on God. Yeah. The best thing about Tana is that a month later she'll be like, hey, sorry gang, I was on Xanax. And it'll be like, Tana, that's so tea. Like, that's so Tana.
In some ways, you know how you've said... So you even say in last week's episode with Kat, you said like how sometimes I do stuff and then you copy. Mm-hmm. I think YouTube, I feel like a boomer.
Right.
And like you really have pioneered the YouTube like knowledge and like viewing for the both of us. And then I kind of go like, hey, what are you watching, kids?
Right.
And then like the only reason that I maybe would have found our guest today by myself, but I feel the first reason I even started watching her channel was because of you.
Yeah, she was the number one influencer of our hearts, although not even an influencer, as she says. At that point, it wasn't even an influencer. That wasn't even really a thing. But yeah, she has had such an incredible career spanning such a long time, and has just been like fucking funny and iconic and really kind like the whole time. Yeah. Which is incredible and feels like not the path everybody takes. You know what I mean? I think when you have like some notoriety and some like, you know, when you kind of pioneered a genre. Yeah. I think it would be easy to kind of up yourself, but she's not. She's such a dream, isn't she?
She's a real dream. It was so much fun, and it was really, really special. I feel like all of our guests have been amazing, but this felt very like this one in particular felt very like something that someone who you followed for 15 years, and then who like you got me watching her, and I was like, this is so cool for us to do this together. Yeah. Just want to say also, circling back to YouTube creators, I did follow a lot of gay couples on YouTube. And that was a real moment in time for me. Yeah. And they've all broken up now. Right. Because
that happens.
Life does get in the way sometimes.
That happens. I had lots of lesbian couples that have sort of come and gone.
Yeah. Were you like what were those English YouTubers?
Rose and Rosie?
No, like the Zoella. What was the?
Oh, the
Brit Crew.
Yeah, Brit Crew.
Right.
No, not so much. I mean, I did fuck with Zoella a little bit. I kind of fucked with her man, Archie, my boy. But then, I did. I liked Sprinkle of Glitter, whose name is Louise Pentland. But I wasn't, again, I think like when it was like, hey, we're young, hot guys, I was like, delete, like switch off, you know what I mean? Whereas when it was like, hey, we're creatives and we've all got really close female friendships, I'm like,
we love that.
Yeah. Really plug into that for a moment.
Yeah. English YouTube for me, when it feels very, I've gone to Primark and got on a haul. Yeah. I feel that's what a lot of the British YouTubers were doing. like 10, 12 years ago?
Well, they did come up in a real tag moment of like, tag my haul, the boyfriend tag, the get to know me tag.
Yeah.
So
Should we do some tags?
I think it would be really fun to do some tags. Get to know me tag. That's kind of all of them.
The sibling tag?
The sibling tag.
Yeah.
We could do the sibling tag.
Okay.
Fuck it.
Oh my God. Also, didn't we say we were going to try and do like loads of old YouTube challenges?
The cinnamon
Should we do the
challenge.
cinnamon challenge? Cinnamon challenge.
If we just posted old YouTube things and posted them to the podcast YouTube, I mean, what's the worst that can happen?
I think
It's just the cinnamon challenge.
shout out.
And they all just
oh my
have to say
God, Glozell.
2025. Glozell.
Glozell was. I would rewatch and watch Glozell over and over
Her
and
lyric
over again.
breakdowns.
The lyric breakdowns. Never mind, I found someone like you. She gonna get him. The Glozell, Someone Like You lyric breakdown.
It's so
and
good.
The TikTok one is amazing.
Yeah.
But the Someone Like You, when she goes, never mind, I'll find someone like you. Oh, she gonna get him. She gonna get him.
It's so good. Yeah.
I heard that you're mad. Yeah. It's so good.
Yeah.
Watch Glozell. Glozell, come on the pod.
Glozell, come on the pod.
And now YouTube obviously is for gay men when they bring their friends over to just watch music videos.
To watch cat's eye music videos,
Yeah.
and that's okay.
Thank God. Thank God some people filmed the whole of Lady Gaga opening night in Las Vegas so I can sit at home and watch it all on YouTube.
Thank God someone screen recorded Cat's Eye at Lollapalooza.
Thank heavens. Yeah, guys. And don't film musicals unless it's 6.
Guys,
put 6 on YouTube.
Guys, please don't film musicals unless it's our girl Lauren Burns singing.
Unless it's Lauren Burns singing Heart of Gold.
Come on, guys, don't do it unless it's Lauren Burns.
Yeah.
Come on.
No, for real, you really shouldn't film.
No, you really shouldn't. We actually don't advocate for that.
Yeah. But if there is ever a 6
obviously
slime tutorial, I do watch it.
If it is Lauren, or honestly, I would also at this point take Amber doing nobody,
That's
that was
right.
fierce as fuck.
You saw our podcast
Our sister pod.
cousin, sister pod. You saw Amber in The Great Gatsby. How was?
I did. It was incredible. It was so good. Yeah, she was really fierce.
Oh, money, oh, money, oh, money, oh, money. Other way. Pull the hands up. Yeah, and then lean into the elbow.
We'll work on it.
No, but you were doing it in Edinburgh. You can do it.
Thank you. Yeah,
You've just
I
kind
was.
of made it your own, which I love.
I was kind of giving it the half-ass, but then I kind of realized, like, no, like, if you're kind of going to
you're in the room with me.
Yeah, like, if you're
it's
kind
on
of...
camera.
If you're going to kind of bring the performance, like, bring the performance. But yeah, that was incredible. But yeah, guys, come on, don't do it unless it's Amber or Lauren.
Yeah.
But also don't actually do it. It's not right. But also don't do it unless it's Lauren.
Yeah. Oh my God, I cannot wait to see Nicola Roberts in Hadestown.
Get me tickets.
What the hell? I saw Hadestown on Broadway and Betty Who was in it. Our girl.
You went specifically for that.
I didn't go specifically for that, but
Okay,
I did
fine.
go...
With that in mind.
I did go with that, like, real intention that, like... I went to visit my friend and then said the only thing we need to do is to go see Betty Who in Hadestown.
And you did. Let's go see Nicola in it.
Nicola!
This week's episode is gorgeous. It's fun. We cover a lot of stuff, but we do cover things and topics such as our guest's cancer diagnosis. We cover like a little bit about treatment and sort of her feelings afterwards. We cover some stuff from our own personal lives. So just go into this week with a little bit of a warning that it's very fun. You know, it's very fun and lighthearted, and we cover a ton of stuff, but we do touch on some of those sadder topics.
Yeah, the big C.
The big C.
We also, I'm putting this on Audible as well. Our guest has a podcast with Memory Heart, who we adore. And our guest said that if we're ever in LA, that we can be a guest on This Might Get Weird.
So we
just wanted to put that on our camera as well again, and also Memory Heart. Whenever we're in the same city, you're going to sit right here.
You'd have a bit more space.
With a bit more space, but we have now, let's just get on with it.
Let's just get on with it.
We are so excited to welcome to the pod
Grace
Helbig.
Stay hydrated. First thing in the morning, tired and yawning. What you gonna do?
We're here with Grace Helbig, everybody.
Yay!
Welcome to the pod.
Thank you so much for having me. This is so fun.
This is a treat. We are so excited to have you. We're here at the Edinburgh Fringe.
Supposedly.
People watching, you'll notice the yellow chairs. We're here at Monkey Barrel Comedy at Edinburgh, where Grace has had a show. Let me get this off my chest.
Yes.
How's it been going?
I can curse and speak
You
freely.
speak freely, please. This is a safe space.
This shit is fucking insane, and you are all cunts.
Cut right to the chase. Yeah.
What I'm learning, I'm having the best time, and I think I over-prepared to have the worst time because I've heard how difficult and uncomfortable and challenging the grind is, and so, you know, someone that loves to jump to worst case scenario, I think I spent weeks imagining what that would feel like out here.
Yeah.
And instead, it's been nice to the point that my husband's like, did you not at all think it could go okay? And I was like, not even a little bit.
Yeah. You clearly don't know me.
Yeah, I'm having a great time. Everyone's so kind. It is insane. You are all insane.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I'm very jealous that this is something you grew up with. I mean, like, what's the first festival that you guys went to?
I remember we must have come when I was even younger, but I came up with my friend we were about 16.
Wow.
And me and my friend came up for about 4 days with his mum, and his sister was at Edinburgh Uni.
Okay.
So she had like accommodation that we stayed at, and me and my friend just walked around, saw almost every free Fringe comedy show we could.
Amazing.
And then a couple of like higher profile ones, but we just saw every back of the pub.
Yeah.
Like cellar.
Yeah, and those are the passionate shows. Those are the people that are really like trying to get themselves out there.
Right.
You must have saw some crazy shit.
Some wild stuff. And but I remember because my friend is quite short and like looks quite young. So but when we were 15, he looked 10.
Yeah.
But we must have been a bit older, actually. We must have been maybe 16, 17. So like we weren't like too underage, but like when we were 17, he looked like kind of 12.
Yeah.
And he was like, we're sitting in the front row. Because then every comedian obviously comes out and goes, what the hell are you doing here? And like, I'm like, I don't like that. So I'm like, oh my God. And my friend Mark, he literally was like, I'm 18, but I don't look it. Like, he relished this experience every time. But like,
amazing.
We were going to these like 11 p.m. like
amazing
comedy shows, and he'd be like, they're gonna love it when I walk in.
Perfect.
But yeah, so that's it. But I think we must have come younger. But I came as like an observant kind of young adult when I was about 17. Yeah.
Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Especially when it's like something you want to do.
Yeah.
That you're coming here and getting that kind of experience and seeing the ways people do it. That's been the coolest thing, is that sometimes you think so linearly about comedy, or like you feel like you have to do things a certain way, and to be able to see the ways in which people approach their shows. And also, I'm so from the internet that I'm like, I need to come here with my final product.
Right.
And then to go to your show and you're just like, here, I'm going to try some stuff. I'm like, he's so brave. Yeah. Amazing.
Thanks. I mean, last year it definitely was the finished product. But yeah, I think it is fun. I mean, I guess I'm also super lucky that with an online audience, a lot of people are coming like...
Yeah, how are you seeing that? Is that crazy different than it used to be?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm now interviewing you guys on your podcast. I hope you don't mind.
We literally said, because we were talking and we were like, oh, how are our guests? We were talking through the podcast and we were like, if we run out of stuff to, like, we were not going to run out of stuff to say, but I was like, I'm sure Grace will, she's a podcaster.
Oh, I have
we
a million
won't ever
questions
stop.
for the two of you.
Yeah.
I have so many questions. I learned, because I've only ever seen, I was talking to Mamrie on our podcast about you two, telling her that I was going to come be here. She's very jealous and sad that she can't be here. And, we've only experienced you guys in short form content. And so to hear so much more about you in your show, to hear your history of dance, to hear your history of being on cruise ships, to hear the history of like the 18-year-old
mecca that you all take to whatever islands for like $5 or something.
Yeah. So it's like the Cabo or the whatever of the UK.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
I have a million questions, but I'll let you go first.
No, yeah. No, I think I'm lucky with the like a work in progress because it's just, a lot of online audience come and they're just like, we're down. Whatever you want to do, like we're all good. Figure it out, which is so lovely. And what's not, I have done it 4 years in a row. So like what's been amazing is people have come and they go like, we've seen all 4 years, which is like,
wow.
And they put like a story up with all like a selfie after every show. So that's like, yeah, it's super cool.
That's really sweet.
Yeah.
Very
But you've been
cute.
touring, working up the show live, mostly in LA, but we saw a bit in London.
Yeah. So last year I put it up for the first time in LA, and then Mamrie and I came and did shows in London and Dublin. And I was like, I'll just take part of the show so I can kind of shop it a little bit out here. And it went really well. And then I did a couple, 5 or 6 shows in the States, and then came here and was like, okay, this is going to be boot camp. This is like, because I started out in improv comedy, and that's how I met Mamrie originally, was doing sketch comedy on a team together in like 2008.
Yeah.
And then the internet stuff took off. So it's like, I've done stage stuff before, but I've never done it like this. And
Yes.
so I'm learning like, how do I hold a microphone on stage? How do I walk around on stage? How do I hold myself? And I definitely feel like it's worth it for the experience of that alone. Because like, when else do you get to play this much? It's crazy. So yeah, now I get to go back to the States and do more shows there. Finally get my family to see the show. They've never even seen it yet.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah. And that one's going to be an emotional one.
Yeah.
But yeah, this fall that'll happen.
Exciting. There's nothing that works a show up better than doing it 24 times in a row.
And it's also like objectively, I guess it's serious content in talking about breast cancer. I'm radically desensitized to everything I'm saying.
Right.
So people have been sharing incredibly touching and moving and tender stories and experiences that they've had with themselves or their family or their friends. And so it's a lot of like managing my own emotions around all of it too. And that part you can't really prepare for until you're here.
How has that been?
It's been amazing. It's been beautiful, and it's been tough because it's obviously like real shit that people are dealing with that you don't know until they tell you. And it's beautiful that people have felt comfortable and safe enough to share different stories with me, and that they've gotten something from the humor of the show that maybe they hadn't gotten when they looked at cancer before. And that's like the whole point, is like, how can you take the piss out of cancer and laugh at it a little bit while still having reverence for the seriousness of it at the same time.
Yeah. I brought my girlfriend, as I told you off camera, and we like sat down for it, and her father passed away from cancer like 8 years ago, and it literally like the lights went down and I was like, it's about cancer, by the way. Like it was so bad. And she literally went like, But literally we watched the whole thing, and she was like, I'm sort of like this, like, you good? And we watched the whole thing and we left it, and she was like, I'm all good. Like, it was actually like, it was really fun to have the perspective of someone who's actually had cancer and survived it, and can kind of come on the other side of it and talk about it. But she just was like, it was just the perfect blend of, like,
that's a relief. That could have gone really bad for you.
Wake up. What the fuck?
But I've had people come up and say that they brought someone, or, they weren't totally sure coming into this. Their mom passed from breast cancer, or a friend, and they didn't know like how this was going to affect them. And that they were actually pleasantly surprised that it like gave them permission to laugh at certain things that are just so dark and so ridiculous and so like world shifting, that laughing just relieves some of the tension around all of it. Yeah. You forget how many people are touched by it in different, or that's what I've learned ever since my diagnosis. It's like this whole invisible world just opened up of like the cancer community that has, like they say, it's the worst club with the best members in it. And it's just been incredible to be able to kind of, share all that. And a lot of people have come up and been like, my dad or sister or brother or whatever didn't want to talk about it. And so being able to hear a little bit about what their experience might have been like was really helpful. And I forget that, that part is really tough for people because it's so like, you don't want to burden people and it's so personal. And so I didn't expect that at first, but it's been happening a lot. And it makes me very encouraged to do it for that reason alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, talking about tough subjects takes away their power.
Yeah.
And again, it's also something that unfortunately a lot of people will experience if it's not first, it's second or third hand.
One in
the joke
seven.
The 1 in 6
women.
joke is so, or 1 in 7.
Yeah, it's like
it's so good.
It's insane. I know it's very funny, but also
Yeah.
like what?
Yeah.
It's crazy. I know. Even while I'm here, I just found out a friend of mine got diagnosed, and I'm like, damn, it just is crazy.
Yeah. And it's that, like, you know, cliche, laughter's the best medicine. If you don't laugh, you will cry.
Yeah.
So we might as well laugh about it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And I mean, I mean, at the moment, I as opposed to like, you know, your Lee, Elizabeth's girlfriend, we haven't had too much close experience with it. So I wasn't as if, but also it was a hilarious show.
Thanks.
Such good storytelling. I thought like the fabric of it, like the subject is all the way through. It's not like a funny show and then here's a really dark, serious 10 minutes. Like you kind of like, this is what the show's about from the start, but also we're laughing.
Yeah. And it's also a lot about the internet stuff too.
Absolutely.
So it's like on its face, it's about, I guess, breast cancer, but you could argue it's more about being a content creator for 17 years and what that experience has kind of been like, which is insane to say 17 years.
Yeah. There's a lot of content out there.
It's perhaps too much, some might say. Perhaps too much. Who knows? I don't know how you guys do it now. It blows my mind. That space, I revel in the years that we had in the past because it felt so pure, so like unaffected. And now it's wild.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even in the last, I first posted I did a couple of like TikToks in the pandemic, but like January 2021 was like, I was like, we're going to give this a go.
Yeah.
So that's what 4.5, and the way it's even changed and what you kind of need to be doing or how, and it changes so quickly. So you're like, people are like, you need to post at 5 p.m. And then you're like, actually, you need to post at 2 p.m.
Tell me all the things you know about when you need to post. I am literally throwing spaghetti at walls.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
It's all made up. And sometimes, like, I always said I was like, let's just quantity. I was like, have an idea, make it happen, make it a real thing. Yeah. Throw it into the internet.
That's smart.
And then I feel that like sharpened my muscle of coming up with these ideas and coming up with little sketches that are 30 seconds. But then even people are now like, there was a phase that was like, don't post every day. Don't post every day.
I know. And now they say everyone's hanging out in stories and DMs and not on main feeds. And so when you post something on your main feed, you like lose followers.
Right.
It's very demoralizing. I feel like I'm constantly humiliated by my own social media.
You're like, I haven't done anything. Like, what's happened? Like,
I just wanted to show you guys something that I was really proud of. And like 1,000 of you left. Okay, great.
No,
my bad.
I'm sorry. One of my friends fully loses followers whenever she posts anything about her personal life.
Really?
Yeah. So like when she's posting shows and she's posting funny content, everyone's like, we love this. And she goes, I went on holiday, and everyone's like, fuck this bitch. Get out of here. I had a question.
Yeah.
Because you've been creating content in different mediums for such a long time. Yeah. Why a live show to tell the story of your like diagnosis?
Great question. It's been a bucket list thing. I don't really have a bucket list until suddenly I start doing something that I'm like, oh, this is a bucket list item for me that I actually really care about. I've wanted to do a one-woman show in some capacity since I started doing comedy. That was always to me like, I don't know, it just like a marker of like the veteranness or I don't know. It was just like you work your way up to that. And I remember when Mamrie released her book and she did a one-woman show about all the storytelling of all the books from it. I was like so proud of her because I know how difficult and intimidating that is. And I just could never figure out like a story or a way to start conceptualizing anything around it. And there was always plenty to do on the internet. So it was like, why even waste my time over here? And Mamrie and I do our live podcasts, and that like, you know, scratches the itch of live performance. And then, you know, breast cancer hit, and Hank Green, another content creator, got cancer like a month or two before me. And so I really got to kind of watch him from a distance and be like, look at how he's handling this and take my notes. And I mean, I started writing jokes almost immediately because that's just how I cope with really hard things.
Yeah.
And then I was documenting the whole thing. I was doing a lot of journaling the whole time. And so I was like really capturing all these stories. And then last summer, when I was finally finished with all my treatment, I just sort of sat down and it all just started. Like, I honestly, when people ask me, like, how did you write this? I was like, I don't know. At one point, it was just finished being written.
Right.
The main story is already a video that exists on YouTube already. So it's just sort of like transcribing that in a different way. And the way it came together with weaving in all the stuff about the internet, which I have been wanting to talk about for so long. And also, I've just been burnt out on making content online. You know, it's so fast and furious. And it's so like, I feel like the critical nature of audiences have like, we're all just looking at each other to be like, what's wrong with this? What can we say is wrong?
Right.
Or how can we be like, not as good as it used to be?
Right.
So, and I think post-pandemic too, just the idea of wanting to be in a space with people.
Yeah.
And also after going through treatment and being pretty much isolated, I was like, I'd like to just be out, fuck it, in the real world. Like, what's the worst that could happen? And so it's been really just nice for my brain to try this platform and to feel like it is now genuinely scratching an itch. And when I first came out here, I did a podcast with Kate Copstick, and she's this older Scottish comedian. And I asked her for advice since it was my first Fringe, and she was like, you better really love the show that you're doing. Because if you don't, you're going to have a really hard time out here. And I was like, oh my God, do I even like what the fuck I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then the more I did it, the more I was like, oh, I'm having fun with this and I really enjoy it. And it feels like I'm discovering this part of me performance-wise that feels very invigorating. I got, you know, after 17 years of doing stuff on the internet, anyone would be like, I just hate myself. I hate this. I've done every idea I can think of.
And you also were grinding.
Yeah.
You weren't for a long time, you weren't a one-a-week queen. You were
5 days a week, contractually obligated. I love doing my homework, which is how I kind of saw that. But even now I'm trying to figure out how to like restart my YouTube channel. And it seems so intimidating because the space is so different. But doing this show, it feels like it's like, I don't know, combining a lot of different avenues of my life, which makes it feel really personal, which makes it feel really special. And so it's just been, I don't know, that like I'm following my fear and I'm following my curiosity, and I'm having a really great time doing it. It's already got me thinking of like, what would another show look like?
Right.
Which is crazy because I'm like, you just do one and then you're done. And that's it. That's all you get. But now I'm like, oh, I'm so inspired by seeing how everyone conceptualizes their pieces out here. I'm like, oh, you can do anything. So it's been more fun than the internet has been lately. So I'm just kind of leaning into that more. I also feel very exposed in a way that I've never felt on the internet, obviously, because you can edit out any of the things that you don't like in certain ways. And this, you're like, wow, it's just unedited perception of me by these people. The first few shows really freaked me out. Right. It was a little overwhelming because I also am my own worst critic. So I have a full interior monologue going on while I'm saying the show, wondering what people are thinking the whole time, which is not helpful.
Yeah. No, that's mad sometimes when you can be doing your show, getting everything right and having there's a whole other plane of communication you're having with yourself, being like, I'm hungry, or like, damn, this person's really annoying me over here. Like, they won't not get off their phone as you are, and you're going like, Like I'm doing all the facials and I'm going, wah, 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 as I'm going like, damn, I really don't feel this tonight. Like, I don't know what, and then you go like, I am crazy, I guess.
Yes, it is. It's like, it's very cool because it does feel incredibly intimidating, way more than making internet content has ever felt in a certain way. And then it feels very empowering because you're like, oh, I survived.
Yeah.
Okay. And you build a little bit more resilience, and that part's very cool. So it's interesting to be in a space where you feel like you're growing. That I'm like, oh, like I'm learning. I'm coming here and I'm learning. That's pretty cool. So yeah, it's been an interesting experience.
Yeah. It also must be, because I feel even the content, like we put, like, you know, a lot of people don't even know that we're siblings if they've just seen
Really, yeah.
bits and bobs, or they've like, I do like a cat impression that people are like, we like the cat, but like the I don't know if you've seen.
We want the cat.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen the cat. But the content you've put up over the years is like conversations. It's like your stream of consciousness, and it's your life, and it's deep. Like it's a lot. Whereas so when people come and see you, they must be like,
they know a lot.
I know a lot about you, and you know, we know how you speak and everything like that, and that must
it's a lot.
Yeah, it's just a lot of energy.
Yeah, it's really, and obviously I went back to school for psychology, so I'm really fascinated in like, you know, the parasocial nature of everything, because I feel that with other content creators that I watch. Like, I'm calling Hank Green my friend, but I haven't seen him in person in forever. But I feel like we're all caught up because I watched all of his videos the last month. So it's so different than, you know, your traditional like celebrity or traditional comedian that isn't as accessible as like we've made ourselves. And I think too, sometimes I go, how long can this last?
Yeah.
Are people going to be following me until I'm like 80 years old? Am I going to be putting myself out there in that way? And maybe, I don't know, because I enjoy it as much as, you know, the people watching seem to enjoy it. And it's like, if they didn't exist, I'd be a crazy person screaming into a void. So it's like, it's symbiotic. It's two ways, which is true to a degree as well. But it is like, I don't know, the parasocial nature of it all is just becoming more normalized, I guess, in a way. But it's been like, I'm meeting all these people at the shows and they're like, I've been watching you since I was 15 years old, which is like the standard. And it is like, yeah, I know. Yeah, we were all doing things on the internet that our parents didn't know about. And that's what made it fun and sneaky and cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's strange.
Well, when I was walking my girlfriend over, she was like, okay, so tell me about the show. And I gave her sort of like a 10-minute deep dive into like your personal life and career.
Yeah.
And she was like, this is like a wealth of knowledge. I didn't know you fucking had. Like, who is this person? And you know what I mean? And I'm like, by the way, I was once featured. And she's like, I don't care. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, it's,
you know?
It's wild. And even still, I feel like I'm a creator that did maintain some level of privacy to a degree, but you still feel like there's so much stuff out there. I mean, it's crazy. How do you do it? Do you guys have like an unspoken rule of like, we will share this much about our private lives, our family lives, or is it just you're kind of figuring it out as you go?
I feel
do you have a safe word of like, don't say that?
We've got a good, I mean, a couple of times we've been like, oh, we'll cut this. Which is fine. I think we want to, I think there is a funny balance, isn't there? You want to you want to also create, you know, something that people are going to be interested in and share a story that people might relate to. And, you know, that's all the creators and the podcasts and the celebrities that you love is because you find something about them that you like. I try and keep my personal life a little bit off Instagram now. Instagram's become, as opposed to like group photos and where I am and all that kind of stuff.
Well, we know they don't perform well.
They don't perform well, so you don't get them.
Not in the business of losing.
So I try and keep a lot of stuff like just
healthy. That's healthy.
And people like, you know, like, and my like boyfriend and like family members and friends. I'm like, you know,
we're not like doing the boyfriend tag.
Smart. Yeah, I learned the hard way that like once it's out there, you can't take it back.
It's out there, and you'll get tagged in edits. Of you and your ex for life.
Oh my god! And almost all of my old YouTube gay couples, they have all now broken up.
Really?
And it's like, and even like a
Who
couple.
could have ever predicted?
But a couple of them were in the last couple of years, and they were like, they still just put like and I was like, damn, 10 years ago, I checked into every. I was there. I was there with
we
you.
all were.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's you live and learn.
Yeah.
My biggest lesbians are still together.
Okay,
that's good.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay,
Wait, is it
Rose
Rose
and
and Rosie?
Rosie.
Yeah. I think they will. If they break up, I'm gonna have a hard
Yeah,
time.
at this point, you guys are together.
Yeah, you
Don't fuck around with us. Okay.
Figure it out.
And if you break up, you still pretend you're together
Yeah, yeah,
for the
yeah.
sake of all of our mental health.
Yeah. Keep it to yourself. You know what I mean? Yeah.
God, I remember just.
Yeah, isn't that insane?
Yeah.
Like they and
Yeah.
I remember meeting them years ago when they first started dating, and they were trying to figure out the YouTube thing, like all of us.
Yeah.
And now it's like, wow, they're so. I mean, it's amazing.
And they were definitely ones that were like sort of 7 years into their journey were like, guys, we used to break up all the time. And everyone was like,
really?
what the fuck? Like, do you know what I mean? But they just kept it.
Yeah.
Even though they were very much Rose and Rosie, they just were like,
Yeah.
we broke up and I just didn't post about it. And then we'd be back together like 3 weeks later. And
Yeah.
it'd be great, you know?
Good for them. Smart.
Right? There have been certain things on the podcast, like I think in like episode 2, I was like, I'm an alcoholic and I'm sober now. And Chris was like, you sure you wanna? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, no. What did I say? There was one thing I went, hey, do you want to just like listen over to that? Like,
yeah.
like I think it's obviously it would be wonderful for you to
course.
share, but like
Yeah.
you just take a listen
Yeah.
and you went, yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Good
for
also,
you.
it also then comes up in episode 4, 5, like
Yeah.
9, 10, 11, like
It's also
because
like freeing sometimes to just put it all out there.
Yeah.
And just be like, that's like when I first got diagnosed, I was like, I have 2 options. I either keep this to myself and I don't burden anyone with like the trauma dumping of here's what I'm going through, or I just put it out there and we just see how it goes.
Yeah.
And it was easier to just put it out there. It felt like it was more effort to try and like orchestrate stuff behind the scenes while still trying to podcast with Mamrie, and like it would become obvious at some point that something was going on with me. And it was really freeing that way to be like, yeah, it's just there. That I'm being very honest. There it is.
yeah. But it's also your arena. It's like your it's your world. Like the podcast is your and it's your people.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna hide here.
And we're very lucky to have cultivated an incredibly kind and like safe and hilarious like audience that it feels okay to share this kind of stuff because you like trust them with this information that feels, I don't know, just very human and very like, oh, I would do the same for you if you entrusted me with this kind of information. So there is like, I think it's over the years, we've just built a certain level of trust. It doesn't mean we tell them everything.
No.
But some stuff feels okay.
Yeah.
I do feel as well like when you choose to be vulnerable, even though it's not necessarily the number one priority, like I have a friend in Florida called Matt, and we both like listened to podcasts. We like loved it. And our friend passed away from cancer.
Wow.
And even you posting about your stuff, it doesn't make it any better, but for whatever reason, it's just like, I don't know, when you go like, other people go through it.
Yes.
Other people live.
Yeah.
Other people die, and that's like what it is. And there was just something about it where we were like, okay, we're like slightly heartbroken because we're like, our other mutual friend, never met you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Our other mutual friend is, but you do go like, okay, like she's been diagnosed. And I don't know, there was something long term that was actually comforting about it, even though it wasn't.
That's really amazing to hear. Because in hindsight, just being a neurotic overthinker and like really self-critical was like, did I put too much out there and like make people have to handle like my own trauma, or did it trigger people in different ways? And also in my mind, I thought I looked pretty normal the whole time. And then I look back, I was like, Jesus Christ. And I was like, I look great. And I remember like, again, seeing Hank kind of go through it. And it was really, it made me excited to like root for him in a certain way. And not that I wanted people to be like cheering me on, but to share the humanness of it. Cause like humanity's messy and it's frustrating and it doesn't make sense and doesn't feel fair a lot of times. And so being able to share that gross, like angering part.
Yeah.
I don't know, somehow, like you're saying, it's hard to kind of articulate, but it just like, it brings some levity to it in a certain way.
Yeah.
Or like it just connects us. You
Yeah,
remember that we're more connected than we are apart.
Yeah.
In certain ways.
Yeah.
Both of our parents' mums died when our parents were very young, both of cancer. So like
Wow.
our blood grandmothers died when our dad was 2 and our mum was 10.
Wow.
So cancer has always had like, it's like this weird, unspeakable, it's not something that is spoken about.
Yeah.
Like grief and death wasn't spoken up growing
Yeah.
up. Like people just disappear.
Yeah, yeah.
Then when other people, grandparents died at like, kind of a regular age, I don't think our parents are completely versed in talking about grief and like doing all that, because it's like obviously very, very painful and it happened.
Yeah.
But then you kind of go like, well, actually, we're going to need to talk about this at some point. We're going to like, hey, and then, when Taylor passed, Elizabeth was living in Florida at the time. I was in London, and I was like, oh my God, like, be like, you're going through this.
Yeah.
You were 22,
24.
24.
Oh, no, 22.
Wow.
22.
And I was like, I don't even have the vocabulary
Right.
to say anything. But
Yeah.
actually, cancer's actually been in our family, for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, as you talking about it, I think it's almost you
it
just
almost
have
makes
to.
it-
It almost wasn't a choice because
Yeah. And
everyone's
it
like,
also makes it like scarier when you don't talk
Totally,
about it.
yeah.
in a
When
certain
you go
way.
like 1 in 6.
yeah.
Like,
yeah.
there's no
crazy.
point in not talking about it. Sorry, I feel like you've come on and we're like,
yeah. Do you
No,
wanna
this is all I do.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm sorry if I'm bringing the mood down.
No.
but
No.
I sometimes, I can say that most of my life I was very repressed about my feelings because, again, I grew up with my grandmother's from England. My mom is like one of 8. She grew up in a very like we don't talk about our feelings household. My
Yeah.
dad, same way. And so like when I got sick, my dad. I'm very lucky all my parents are alive right now, but obviously mortality has like stricken my brain of
Right.
like, I'm constantly in the thought of like them passing. And my dad had a really, really hard time when I got diagnosed. He'll never see this podcast. I love him so much, but he's such a sensitive man. He's a Pisces. And so he's very innerly sensitive and he doesn't want to bother anyone with it. And at one point, like I had to tell him like, I need you to suck it up
Yeah.
and to be
Right.
like my cheerleader and to not think I'm dying because
Yeah.
that's his head went to that because we just don't talk about our feelings. And
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
and I could see he was just so like clenched with like the grief that like overtook him immediately. And it just, when you talk about things, it relieves all the
Yeah.
pressure a little bit, even if it's difficult and it's uncomfortable. There is a sense of relief in a certain capacity that I think is worth the discomfort of the conversation.
yeah.
and you're right, there is something, I remember, there's something about being like, okay, I am the one with the diagnosis. So now it's
Yeah.
actually, this is what I need from you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I
Like-
honestly, I tell my husband this. I'm like, if this happened, I feel almost, this is going to sound crazy. I feel lucky that it happened to me because there was a sense of control that it was like in my body and I was dealing with it. And so I knew how I felt at all times. If it was happening to my husband or to my parents, the lack of control of being a caretaker is like with your friend, it's really difficult.
Yeah.
And so challenging because you have to just like relinquish this idea of control, period.
Yeah.
And that's like, how do you, that makes all the wheels spin off in
Yeah.
life. Which is, I wonder why, like when you're saying in the second episode that you were like, I'm an alcoholic, I don't drink anymore.
Yeah.
Like there's some sense of like taking your power back, taking your control back.
And there definitely is. And I think there's also something about like, the more I talk about this,
Yeah.
the more it becomes harder for me to,
The less
you know
intense,
what I mean?
like the less it's like pedestalized as this like big scary thing
Yeah.
that needs to be talked about in the perfect way or needs to be
Yeah.
presented in the most like I've thought exactly around every corner and every side of this conversation about it, and I'm presenting it to you perfectly. It's all messy.
Yeah. Mhm.
And so sometimes just getting it out there is like, it's like an emotional fart. Just like get it out.
What's the beer that Kyle Richards always orders? I feel she's always there with a zero Heineken.
Yeah, she is. Wait, do you guys watch Housewives out here? Do you watch
Yeah.
all the Bravo shows out here?
Yeah.
Okay,
Grace.
sorry.
You're
I know.
talking
I
to-
should
And now
know.
we've
landed.
This is what I said. Grace said, "What should I prepare?" And I was like, "We're just gonna." So far, we've had like a fun, like Edinburgh chat. We always end up at VPR. Like,
And it's coming back.
it's coming out with the new cast.
Yeah, reboot.
How are you feeling about it? Quick thoughts.
I worry that the sort of magic
It's gone.
can't be recreated.
Yeah.
But, three 30-year-olds dating 26-year-olds working in a restaurant in LA. How can we, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that had its era.
How can we repeat that? Jax Taylor, super villain of the world. How could,
Yeah.
and are we ever going to have another Stacy Schroeder?
Right? Right?
But I'm hopeful in our watch.
Okay.
I'm hopeful in our watch.
Yeah. I'm glad that they are what it seems like deplatforming Jax.
Yes.
Because they did create a monster over
They
there.
really did.
I mean, not that they created it. And that is the interesting thing in reality TV now is when you see like the corner turn and you're like, oh no, this is a dangerous person
Yes.
now.
Which I feel has been The Valley.
Yes, I haven't watched The Valley because I feel like it's got those vibes.
Yeah, I watched season 1 and was like, oh, like obviously, like Kristen, I love you.
You do.
Kristen Doty. Yeah, get into it. But I watched season 1 and was like, okay, in like episode 2, they're all being mean to her. And I was
Yeah.
like, fuck this. Like leave
my queen.
leave my girl alone. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, but then in season, I saw like some clips of season 2 and people being like, no, like he's been abusive to Britney on camera, which he always has been.
Yeah.
But it was really
Yeah.
bad. And I just was like, okay, I'm not even gonna sort of.
Yeah, that's what Mamie
unpack
was
that.
saying. The first season was surprisingly really good, and so I was like waiting for like, oh, when I have food poisoning and I need like a show to binge.
Yeah.
I'll check in.
But are you watching Real Housewives of Miami? Okay, I feel like this is the underappreciated
It's my
franchise.
favorite set of girls
Okay,
on the
finally,
whole
someone to
network.
talk to about this because I feel like every time I bring this up to someone, they're like they've never heard of that franchise or they knew that it like went away, and I'm like, no, it's back, it's back,
and they are
it's-
all checking. They're all clocking in.
they're all getting their paychecks.
They said we're not getting culled again.
Yeah, you tried to put us on Peacock only.
Yeah.
Well, here we go. One, the glamour. I think is fantastic.
The setting of Miami,
The wealth,
the wealth is amazing.
which is what you want originally from the Housewives, is
Yeah.
one of the foundational elements, is that they have a certain amount of wealth.
Aspirational wealth.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you want to see the ways in which they squander it.
Yeah, the strange choices they make.
Okay, so who are you most into over there?
Okay, I truly love the cast.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
as a group,
Yeah.
it's for me the strongest.
No weak links.
Everyone's playing.
Yeah, I agree.
I just love a gal pal pair. So I just love when you get the funniness of Alexia and Marisol.
Yeah.
Like just
Yeah.
like when they're not yelling or whatever, and they're just like, "Hey, bro," and then I was like, "No," and they're just being like, "No, we're best friends."
Yeah.
I love those two together. I have to say, I just love Larsa.
You do, yeah. I mean,
just-
she's made for reality
She's
TV.
I just think everything, her talking heads are amazing. I just think she just clocks in.
Yeah.
Like there's something hypnotic to look at about
Yes,
her.
there's like
Which
she
I
always
know
looks
is-
like she's falling asleep, maybe,
Yes, but then-
or the way that her like face work has
Yeah,
been done. Who
I don't
knows?
know. Da-da-da.
But the fact
on.
that there's a whole episode, are you caught up?
I think I'm a couple behind, but
Okay, but this isn't.
yeah,
this-
you may.
But the fact that there's a whole episode.
I love Kiki as well.
I love Kiki.
I love
She had
Kiki.
a tough last episode, and I
Okay.
feel for Kiki. She, Lars is just like the whole storyline is. What's her face not unfollowing her ex?
Oh,
on
Lisa.
Instagram. Lisa.
Yeah.
And Lisa's also made for TV.
Lisa's
like
just
incredibly
Lisa
on her
Hochstein.
own time. Like truly I think a well-intentioned narcissist, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know, but also went through something like insane. Like their lives are insane.
Insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's like 3 hours late for a
Everything.
trip, a bus journey. And the new girl, Stephanie, just goes, "Hey, Lisa, do you think your time is more important than ours?" And she goes, "Don't talk to me like that. Don't talk to me like that. How dare you?" And she
My
goes,
father just died.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay,
No.
oh my God.
Truly, but we have been waiting here for 4 hours. Like, I don't know what to tell you. You could have sent us a text. But,
Yeah, you can tell like the PAs went on the bus and were like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
she's speaking for everyone. I'm so glad you love it because it's
love
truly, I think, one of the most under talked about franchises.
I think there's something about Miami and Salt Lake.
Yeah,
They're
Salt
like,
Lake is the other one.
We want to stay here. Whereas like,
Yeah.
come on, Beverly Hills, we've been there from the, but the longer lasting ones, I think they're kind of like,
They need a revamp a little bit. Because Salt Lake 2 is playing into the camp. It's high camp to me. They're letting the editors have a
Theatrical.
really fun time.
Funny.
Which makes the girls, I think, seem funnier than they might be actually in real life. And so they should be paying those editors for the way they're being cut into these shows.
Yeah.
The Monica of it all. The Jen Shah of it all.
Jen Shah.
I mean,
I mean,
do we get her released from, like, when are we going to get her released? Season 6, season 7?
yeah, and she's going to come right out to a show.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be insane. And at what point does Bravo go, like, so we've had, 2 housewives go to jail?
Should we check before?
Yeah, like, what? How many more times can we keep this happening?
I know.
They're doing it on purpose.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's fascinating. I would love a reality show about the casting process behind the scenes.
Nice.
Because they're always friends of, or they've always. Have you watched Atlanta this last season?
I started it. Atlanta was
Yeah.
truly my Atlanta in the golden years
Yeah.
was so
Amazing.
funny.
Yeah.
They were so funny.
Yeah.
And then I've had a little bit of trouble with like just the chemistry, the
They're trying to
alchemy of
find-
the casting.
Yeah.
And then I am gonna miss Kenya.
I think she's coming back. I heard rumors that she's coming back because like the fans were like, because the other girl,
The fans with this.
yeah, literally that. Because the other girl, the new girl that was in insurance or something or whatever that Kenya, like Brit,
Yeah.
she didn't even show up to the reunion.
Oh.
No one knew that she wasn't going to show up. She's suing the network for who knows what. And so I think fans are like, bring Kenya back. She did something bad, but please.
Phaedra's back. Kenya, can bring them all
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
Come on. What? Do you have any British shows you like?
Yeah, I mean, we get into Taskmaster. We got into Would I Lie to You in the pandemic. I married a straight man, so it's hard to get him to watch any reality television with me. And he loves Peep Show so much.
That's
Yeah,
one of my favorite programs.
yeah, it's literally his too.
Yeah.
And so we watch a lot of that. But I want to get into. Well, they're bringing back London Housewives, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's called. What's it called?
Real Housewives of London.
Oh, it is called that.
Yeah, it used to be Ladies of London.
Yes, because that's where we got what's her
this
face
is-
that went to Dubai. I can't
Oh
remember
yeah,
all the
yeah.
names.
But now this is RHOL.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
really excited for that. The revamp because I think it's one of the original women too.
I think so.
From-
Yes.
that was like the American that was on it or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Which
interesting.
yeah. No haters, obviously. All Americans welcome at all times. But I do go like of London, but she has lived here for ages.
Yeah, she lives here.
Yeah, she lives
Supposedly.
here.
Yeah.
Well, okay. What is like the UK reality show to watch if there is one?
I mean, Love Island's a pretty
Right,
Love
that
Island.
is
Juggernaut.
yeah.
We have
Geordie
now
Shore used to be.
Geordie Shore.
Right, yeah.
Which
I did watch
Made in
years ago.
Chelsea and
So Made in
something about
Chelsea.
Essex. Not something about Essex.
The Only Way
The
is
only way is
Essex.
Essex.
Those, yeah. I forget which one I'd seen, but I started watching one of those and it just felt maybe more scripted.
Were they posh or were they?
Very posh. And it
Main
was
Chelsea.
like fancy, like camera editing
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff. And I was like, oh, I don't know if I like this kind of polished
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
I like when it's like someone had to bring a camera on their shoulder because the housewife is saying something problematic and they need to run
Yeah.
into the
Yeah,
room
yeah.
and get it.
Jogging down the
Yes,
hallway. Yeah. No, I think they both even sort of say like some of this has been, it's a bit more, was it The Hills that was a bit more
Yeah.
scripted?
Yeah.
But then we weren't told that at the time.
No, they broke the fourth wall at the
The
end.
Hills. was so iconic. And I love in those ones when you watch the Hills back, it's literally like just them yelling in a parking lot with like just one guy being like, and she's going, Jason, and it's just they're like running after like Jason out of Les Deux or whatever. Like,
and she like
Les Deux.
The not Kristen Cavallari, the other main girl,
Whitney, Audrina, Lauren.
Objectively, like a personality that you would never cast on reality television.
Not anymore, yeah, but
like
at the
wet
time,
noodle a bit. And so, but I remember growing up and being like, their life is perfect.
Oh my God, she was perfect.
Yeah.
Do you remember, I want to forgive you and I want to forget you?
Oh, the mascara tear. Yeah.
And she, oh my God, Lauren and Audrina's like kind of like reconciliation. She goes, if you want to go back to being friends, that's all I want. That's all I want.
All I can think
and
about.
And then Audrina had to be like, I don't know. We're not actually.
These are the women that raised us.
Truly.
All I can think of is I used to read Perez Hilton when I was younger. Like when he would just say whatever he wanted. He always called her ceiling eyes.
Oh, Audrina.
Yeah.
She did look at the ceiling a lot. She did look up a lot.
I was like, that is so mean and silly at the same time. But yeah, iconic.
They always used to have these like jobs. And then just must have just like, just leave and film or whatever. Like she's actually on the front desk at like EMI or something. And then Audrina just like, hey, I need to go and film a scene with Justin. And it'll just be like this, Justin's just broken up with her, but she's like fully on shift. Like, this is so annoying. Like,
yeah. And then I remember Whitney got her spinoff in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The City.
I did like that. I was like, but in hindsight, I'm like, wow, that was so scripted. Incredible.
Yeah.
I feel that is part of the magic that we will lose with VPR is because it was, however many years ago, at least sort of like 12, 15, and particularly by the time they were cast, I think they had 2 whole years from like pilot to release.
Yeah.
And it was like, being a reality star wasn't really a thing. They all wanted to do something else.
Yes.
And they all, because they didn't fully grasp it, they did the craziest shit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when Kristen punches James.
That was crazy.
And it's just like, but no one would ever do that now.
Yeah.
But
and
she
like
didn't give a fuck.
When Tom poured like his drink over Katie's head.
Do you want some lore on that?
Absolutely.
Katie has apparently since said that had happened the night before and they didn't get it on film. And so they said like, your boyfriend has to pour a drink on your head again and call you a dumb bitch again. And so what, how she's...
You're cool with that, right?
Yeah,
and if
that's
you
fine.
notice,
You want to be famous, don't you?
Right. And she's like, I guess. But if you notice as well, when he pours the drink, she doesn't go like, what the fuck? She goes like, Tom. And it's like actually really...
Wow.
Kind of sad.
Now I need to watch that back. Yeah, there was, the alleyway is just so pure for so much argument that I feel
That's
like.
at the back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever been when you've been out in Los Angeles at all?
I would die to. I've never been. I've
We
never
went
been to any of them.
And James Kennedy was leaving.
Okay.
Sir, and we got there. We had pumptinis. Or no, we went to Pump first, and then we went to Sir. And it was like a little sad, but we were wasted. But this was like years and years ago. And everything is like a little kind of tacky.
I think it could do with a facelift.
Yeah. Everything's got a little dust on it. Everything's a little like more plastic in person.
Those cushions.
Yeah. Like Steph looks good on camera. Yeah.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Isn't that insane?
How have you done that?
Did Mamrie tell you that when we went to Villa Rosa during the pandemic, by the way, which was mansion to talk on her podcast for the first time and see another person in real life. She started talking to Mamrie and I. One, she started talking about like marriage and all of this stuff and about her and Ken. And then the cameras went down and she was like, it must be amazing that you guys, have this close friendship like this. God, I wish I could remember exactly what she said. We were like, yeah, it's been like 13 years or something. And like, we really love each other. She's like, yeah, I've had friends that like, they show their true colors after a while and literally just started talking to us about Kyle there. And we were like,
Yeah, this,
Oh my god! Oh my god! I don't know if she's like playing the part of like she thinks we want to hear about this,
Yeah.
or this is just she is just
It's actually on the tip of her tongue at any time.
literally that.
Yeah.
As soon as they stopped rolling, she just started asking us about like, do we get in fights with each other, and that, and we were like, not really. No,
She's looking for advice.
Yeah.
She's like,
She's looking for people to confirm that Kyle sucks and is wrong. And it was, I couldn't believe we were there. Yeah, it was insane. But like her taste is so specifically her taste. She was
Yeah.
like, come see my tiny pony. And it's just like pink everywhere and like swans everywhere.
Yeah.
And just like big, giant like flower arrangements
Does
everywhere.
it smell beautiful?
Yeah.
Just like florally.
It was like, there's just a lot of stuff there too, but it's all curated in a certain way that you're like, oh, this is just your style.
Yeah.
You love a lot of like mirrored elements on things,
Yeah.
a lot of shiny baubles everywhere. It's
Yeah.
like,
Trinkets.
yes, lots of trinkets
Kitschy.
that probably cost more than, you know, I
This
know.
whole build. Yeah.
Yeah, she was just like popping around.
That's
crazy.
interesting because the cameras could have gone down and she could have been like, oh yeah, like that whole
Yeah.
whole Kyle thing was fake.
Was fake.
Or just like whatever.
No,
But the
apparently
fact that she's
very
like,
real.
well, you know my history with friends.
Literally
And
that.
like,
Mamrie and I were just like holding each other's hand quietly, being like, "This is amazing.
Yeah.
Keep talking."
Keep it here. How do we stay here overnight?
Insane. I know. How do we,
would
get
love
lost
to
here?
stay for dinner. You want to do another podcast tomorrow? We could. Grace Helbig, Grace.
Oh
Grace
my god!
Helbig.
I forgot we're doing a podcast.
I know. Thank you so much for being here. This has been such a joy.
Thank you guys so much. This is so sweet. Come to LA. We never have guests on our podcast, but we would for you guys. So I know, big talk. Mamrie would back me up on this.
Oh my god.
Problem is, it's like we will book a
We'll-
flight.
yeah,
We'll be
we're
like,
how's September 4th?
Let us know. Mamrie is missing this whole thing.
Yeah.
And so the FOMO alone, she'd be like, I use my frequent flyer miles. They're flying here.
Oh my god, love. And also Mamrie, whenever we can, you're on here as well.
Yeah.
We'll do it with everyone or both or whatever. Everyone. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
And thank you so much for listening. Love you, Elizabeth. Thanks for being here.
Love you, Chris.
Bye.
Hydrate.